Welcome to my The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Oh, today is going to be a bit of a short episode today. Your boy is feeling under the weather, but it is Sunday. You guys deserve a Sunday episode, so I'm going to give you a Sunday episode. It's just going to be a bit of a shorter one. Let's get into our thread, though. Our thread today is, what's your worst first date experience? All right. I met up with a girl I met on OkCupid. We had planned to go to this little coffee shop. I get there about 15 minutes early and find that the place is closed inexplicably. I then return to my car to find out I had locked my keys and phone in the car. Oh, so I had no choice but to just sit and wait for her to show up so I could explain to her that the place is closed and ask her to help me get my keys out of my car. Oh, dude, talk about bad luck. Damn. Oh, I hope it worked out to some degree. Ugh. God damn, dude. Damn. Yeah, that's just a string of bad luck, bro. Went on a date with a guy I'd met through a mutual friend. Things seemed pretty normal until we were sitting and waiting for the movie to start. He got his phone out and started showing me pictures of two of his ex-girlfriends. Both women were completely naked, nigga. What? Bro, what is going on here? Like,
bruh.
What are you doing? What? Dude. Did he not know he was on a date? Did he think like, this ain't a date, or was he just not taking it serious? Like, I would love to know what was going through his head, because I'm just like, bro, what is going on here? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Okay. Excuse-moi. All right. Had a casual first date with a guy at my apartment. We watched a movie that he had seen before and drank a bottle of wine and chatted. She must have really liked him in order for them to have their first date at her apartment. Like, bro, a lot of girls, they wouldn't be down with some shit like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. She must have really liked this guy. Toward the end of the movie, there's a little blood, and the guy walked into my kitchen, pretended to get a glass of water, and dropped to the ground and started seizing. It was terrifying. I ran over and kept saying his name, and after a few seconds, I was about to call 911 when he woke up, realized what happened, and just said, "Damn it." Apparently, the sight of blood really gets to him, and this was the first time this had happened. Oh, shit. Like, I'm squeamish towards blood, 100%. But, man, I don't pass out and be like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, and then you're on a first date with a girl. I mean, hopefully she was kind of like very understanding and was just like, hey, it's all good. Like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I'm just glad you're okay. Instead of just being like, ew, ick. He fucking passed out and was convulsing. Oh, all right. I went out with a guy that I had met on Tinder. The entire time we argued, either he didn't agree with me or I didn't agree with him on anything. Normally, I don't argue with someone just because I don't agree with them, but this guy was so arrogant. After leaving the bar, he somehow thought it would be a good idea to ask me to come up to his place. Saying no was the last time I spoke to him. RIP Tinder app. Oh, man. Like, why were you on the date for so long? You know, you should have been got you an Uber and got out of there. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you should have been got you an Uber, girl. Damn. What are you doing? Because I know I would have been got me an Uber and got the fuck out of here. I'd be like, man, this date ain't worth it. You know? I'd be like, nah, dude, this date ain't worth it no more. I'm good. Fuck that shit. Like, what in the hell is going on here? You crazy, girl. You is crazy. Ain't no way. Let's see. A cutish guy approached me at a foreign film screening at my university in Arizona and asked me out in French, which was the language of the film. I spoke college level French, so I accepted the offer of a date. I mean, just the fact that homeboy was asking you out in French was just like, ooh la la. And you know what I mean? Like, man, shit. I mean, he was kind of cute. When he picked me up that Friday night, he greeted me with a Guten Tag. Okay, cute, a reference to the foreign film screening, right? Nope. From that moment, he spoke nothing but clumsy German all night long. He took me to Blockbuster. Yes, I'm old. And we rented a German film. He spoke German to the cashier. He spoke German throughout dinner. He spoke German while watching the film. He tried to get to first base in German. And yes, this whole time I was telling him repeatedly that I don't speak German. I can't understand him. He just responded in German. And the weirdest moment was when his roommate came home. As I was awkwardly leaving, my date was trying to convince me to stay in German, and my date interrupted our conversation to say in a perfectly normal Arizona accent, "Hey man, what's up?" And then turned back to me and continued to speak German. Okay. So, to her, he was speaking German the whole time, and she's like, bro, I don't understand what you're fucking saying. Then he, tried to cop a feel on some titties, and she was just like, no, nigga, I don't know what you're saying. Can you speak normally? And then he gets interrupted by some random person. He's like, hey, yo, what's up? And then goes back to speaking German. Like, nigga, dude, what? Like, see, a lot of guys, they feel like when they talk to a girl, something works, and they're like, ooh, she liked that I did that. I'm going to keep doing it. And then it just gets old to the girl. And then they're like, all right, bro, if you don't got anything else, new, and this is all you got in the bag of tricks, I'm done. I'm good. Like, leave me alone at this point. Either that or they just get tired of it, and now it's a gag, and they're just like, ugh. So it's like, come on, bro. What you doing out here? Seriously. I really don't understand what the whole German angle was going for. Like, what were you trying to do? Like, it was impressive that you asked her out in French. It was impressive that, you knew a lot about foreign films and she was into foreign films and all that kind of stuff. That stuff's impressive. But for you to be doing that shit all night, that shit gets old and it kind of gets boring, my nigga. Like, come on, man, and then she's probably looking at you like, not going on a second date with this motherfucker. Man. All right. I took him to a baseball game where he proceeded to pronounce loudly to anyone and everyone around us that we were an item. He pulled out a very large bag of peanuts with the shells and started eating them. With the shells still on, he had pieces of shell all over his face when he kept asking my friends if they wanted any, occasionally spitting up nut particles on them to their horror and my extreme embarrassment. He then tried getting into a full fight with me about a hypothetical situation where we would be caught on the kiss can. I'm just saying, if we're on it, we gotta go hard. And I'm just sitting there cringing and grinding my teeth into oblivion. He drank so much that he never really saw the game. He had to keep getting up to go to the stadium bar. And he kept asking for my ID so he could double fist his $10 Coors Lights. He probably spent $100 on beer in the first few hours. Not sure why I kept letting him use my ID. Maybe it was just shock. He chugged 2 beers on our way out and kept refusing to let me walk on a certain sidewalk. Yeah, a certain side of the sidewalk. A man walks on the side. It's his duty to a lady. What the fuck? He started insulting women as we were walking past to get my car. I mean, that is a chivalrous thing to do for a guy to walk on the side with the cars. That is a chivalrous thing to do, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know how he was insulting women, though, but that is chivalrous for him to do that. So just saying. I was ready to punch him in the mouth, but he was 6'7", and I just wanted to take him home and forget the night ever happened. He drunkenly started insulting my driving while we were in post-game traffic and kept trying to open the door to get out and drive instead of me. He insults my career, tells me I couldn't possibly keep up with the manly job I have, but don't worry, babe. It's not because you're not great. It's just that it's too hard for you is all I'm saying. I finally pull up to his house. I'm white knuckling it to the point where my hands are nearly numb. I tell him to get out and he asks to come in. I say absolutely not. And he lunged at me to kiss me. He sort of licks my face and I literally shove him out of the car onto the street and sped off. The next day he texted me, "Hey, had a great time. Would love to see you again." I said, "Your behavior is ridiculous. Please never contact me again." And he responds, "Cool. Well, if you ever want to get a beer, let me know." This dude, he didn't take a fucking hint at all. Bro, she took you to a baseball game, which is super cool. Kind of an L though, if I'm being honest with you, because how can you really get to know somebody when you're at a baseball game? But I digress. It's a super cool experience. It's something super dope that you guys could do together and, whatnot. I just think he fumbled it hella bad. He had a girl that was super dope, wanted to take him to something I don't know, a girl who takes dudes to fucking baseball games on a first date. Psh, yeah, right. You know what I mean? So the fact that this girl was going out this far to actually do something like that for him, I think that was crazy awesome. Man, bro, you fumbled the bag on that one. Man, and she got a bomb job. Shit. Oh, man, I was talking to a guy online and we finally agreed to meet for a date. I get there and there is a woman sitting with him. It turns out that it was his wife and they were looking for a third. He never mentioned that during our chats, and then he called me a cunt for saying that I didn't want to get involved. Dude, what the fuck? They out here finessing like that? Man, homeboy was just she'll totally be down. Don't worry about it, babe. We got this. Bro, what? Oh my, okay. Homeboy was out here finessing, trying to get a third. I'm surprised his wife was okay with that. That's a little weird, you know what I mean? Kind of, I don't know, ooh. All right. It probably wasn't the worst any had. But it just didn't make sense. The first date with this guy, he says we should meet at a nearby coffee shop. I arrive and introduce myself and hop in the line to get coffee. He looks upset, so I ask him what's up. He says he hates coffee. Okay, we can get something else on the menu. But he also didn't bring any cash because his last few dates made him pay. Nigga. Yeah, of course. You're supposed to pay. You're the guy. Come on, man. And he'd rather just do something that didn't require money. Then why did we meet at a shop? Anyway, I started brainstorming stuff we could do that required no money. He's shooting down all the options I gave: local zoo, art gallery, etc. because they involve driving more than 4 blocks away, so there's a lake nearby. Let's just do a lap around that. We walk and the guy is giving me nothing. Every answer is met with a short, closed answer. Where did you go to college and what did you do study? Wisconsin, biochemistry. Oh, tell me about that. Biochemistry. Sounds really cool. And I love the campus at UW. It was okay. Cool story, bro. Anyways, so we make it back to where we started, and I'm like, okay, man, you seem really not into me. So how about we part ways, but in nicer turn? The guy flips. You said you were free between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. That means we still have an hour. You said you were free, so we're hanging out until 3. This nigga. All right, dude, if you want completely one-sided conversation for additional hour, sounds great. Dude sounds... I mean, look, all right, I ain't trying to get canceled or nothing here, but dude kind of sounds a little autistic, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, he just sounds very mentally challenged a little bit, to the point where, you know, maybe he's not very socially inept with it when it comes to conversation and that dynamic between that. You know, that's just that's what I feel like it is. It could be wrong. It could be wrong, but that's just kind of how it seems, because, you know, she openly said, hey, look, man, it just seems like you're not into me. You know, I'm going to go. And then he just kind of blows up at her like that. It was just kind of weird, because it's like, it was like, not only the fact that he blow up at her, but it was so blunt, you know, like, he's just like, you said we were going to hang out and from 1 to 3, and it's only been 2 hours. And that's why I'm just like, nigga, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, he kind of gives a bit of autistic vibes, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, hey, if that's just how the dude is and he's just naturally a weirdo like that, okay, he's just naturally a weirdo like that, you know. This is what it is. But, man, for him to want to stay on that date for an extra hour, it's like, bro, I've been trying on this date and you've been giving me nothing. Like, this is a waste of time for me, you know? God damn. All right. Okay. I lack experience in bailing bad dates, so I just went through them like a sucker. First one is pretty simple. We were going to watch a play together at her high school. She brought another guy with her. He bought a ticket at the door and had his hand on her lap the whole time. I was going to talk to her about it, but she sent me home first. I guess that doesn't really count as a date, at least not for me. Yo, she invited 2 dudes and was just like, all right, I'm going to see which one I like the most. And the one I don't like, I'm going to send his ass home. Like, what? Okay. I mean, the moment I saw the other guy, I would have just been like, oh, you see, I thought this was a you and me thing, so I'm going to get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I would have left right then and there. I wouldn't have even walked in that place with her. The moment I saw another guy, I would have just been like, oh, you know, I thought this was a you and me thing. Since it's not, peace and chicken grease. Like, bro, come on. What you doing? What you doing, man?
Stop it. Get some help.
Damn. All right. The second worst date was from a Plenty of Fish. God damn. We met at a Tim Hortons, chatted a while. It was really cool. She brought me back to her place, and it really stunk. Girls usually apologize in advance because they have a messy place. At the worst, it's just clothes on the ground. But this was actually awful. She asked me to pick up a movie to watch together and pointed at her DVDs above the kitchen cabinets. I have no idea why she stored them there. She's shorter than I am, and I had to step on the counter to reach. I don't remember what we watched because she was on Plenty of Fish on her phone messaging someone else the whole time. Oh yeah, and she had more DVDs in her drawer. I opened it and saw movies as well as dildos and handcuffs. Before anyone says anything, she clarified she doesn't do anything on the first date. I ordered his food, paid for it, and left after eating. Nigga, I wouldn't have even... At the moment I saw her messaging other dudes, I'd be like, yo, what are you doing over there? What's that? What's going on? And, you know, if she would have gave me some old BS answer, I'd have been like, oh, well, you know, all right, then I'm out. Peace. Like, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like, we're letting these girls just walk all over you, man. Like, put your fucking foot down, brother. Golly. What are you doing? You know, like, bro, put your foot down and be like,
She belongs to the streets.
and move on. Shit. God damn, man. I can see why your ass has some worse first dates. I've never gone on a date with a girl and she brought another guy or she was texting other dudes on dating apps while I was there. Like, bruh, that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, finally get to share this story. A couple of years ago, I dabbled a bit with Tinder. Met a guy who was super cute, traveled a lot, and seemed interesting. I suppose interesting was one word I could use to describe him. We start to date by getting lunch, a few beers at my favorite spot in town. We were chatting away and the topic of daydreaming came up. I asked him what he daydreamed about. His eyes then get a bit dark and his voice gets low as he says, "When I daydream, I imagine the light leaving my enemy's eyes." By this point, I was a few beers in and didn't know what to say. I responded with, "Oh, so how do you do it?" He looks away, ponders for a second and says, "Harpoon." The rest of the date was spent with him talking to me about his extensive anger issues and how he still lives and bangs his ex. Wow. Hell, he had just banged her before he came to meet up with me. That's when I decided to stop using Tinder. That man is a red flag all day. He's a giant red flag. The fact that he was just like, I daydream sometimes. And I'm like, oh, what do you daydream about? I daydream about watching the light leave from my enemy's eyes. And she's like, maybe he's as drunk as I am. I'm going to entertain it. What do you mean by that? Harpoon. What? Harpoon? Yeah. I have these anger issues. And whenever somebody angers me, I just want to get a harpoon and delete them with it. Imagine being the bartender and overhearing that conversation. Like this man is just literally looking off into the distance and he's just like, oh, I daydream about the lights leaving my enemy's eyes. I'd be sitting there like, this nigga, what the fuck? I gotta hear more of this. And then the fact that she's just like, what do you mean? I'd be like, me too. What do you mean, nigga? And then, he just says, harpoon. I'd be like, God damn, harpoon? What the fuck? There's got to be more to this. And then he goes on about his anger issues and shit like that. And I'm just like, facts. Because if you daydreaming about unaliving people with harpoons, man, you must got some anger issues. And then the whole, he still lives with his ex and he bangs her and shit like that. I'd have been like, oh, really? Oh, shit. Damn, girl. Woo, shit. Oh, man. I'd be eavesdropping like a motherfucker if I was that bartender. I'd just be like, damn, he still bangs his ex? What? He banged her? Oh, what? Oh, shit. Hey, you bartenders out there, man, you guys be hearing some crazy shit, I bet. Some crazy shit, I bet. Man, I gotta do a thread with some bartenders. Like, what is the craziest, story a bartender has ever heard or something like that? I'm gonna get on a thread like that because, yeah, man, I bet you guys got some crazy ass fucking bartender stories. Man, y'all just be sitting there cleaning glasses and you just be hearing the craziest shit and you're just like, oh, fuck. All right. Not shockingly bad, just a little weird. She showed up with her overprotective older sister. Most of the conversation was with her older sister. When I was asked questions, in 80% of the cases, her sister was the one to answer them. The girl was cute, so after the awkward experience, we'd agreed to have another date. Turns out she was so sheltered and shy, she was almost incapable of having conversation on her own. Yeah, we grew to be good friends, but other than that, in a more romantic way, she was a very closed person. I love the comments. So you're boinking the big sister, right? You know what I mean? He said, yes, finally someone else uses. Oh, man. He's like, yeah, facts. All right, man. You know, I mean, just the fact that her sister was doing most of the talking, or her sister was on the date at all, was just a big. So, I mean, the fact that you tried to go on a second date with her and you really thought things were going to change and be different and work out, you're a better guy than most. We're going to do 2 more. All right. Went on a date with a really aggressive guy. Had to call my Ukrainian ex, her Ukrainian ex in the Navy, who was 6'4", acquaintance to come save me. Oh, that's not her ex-boyfriend. That's a dude who was an ex-Navy. Okay, all right, that nigga's a simp. Dude threatened to call the cops on me because I left the date early in his mind. Fuck you, Noah. Edited for clarity. Okay, well, first off, your acquaintance, that nigga's a simp. The fuck we talking about here? You know, like, a girl I'm not banging calls me and is just like, oh, hey, can you come do this for me and get this guy out of here? I'd be like, no. What the fuck? Like, what do you think this is? Like, no. I'm not about to go out there and help you. You went on a date with that shitty guy. That's on you. What the fuck we talking about here? I'll see your dumbass later. I was so nervous, I threw up on him and myself. No second date. Oh, bruh. Oh, I feel so bad. Because, like, what if it was a thing, like, you know, they were, so I don't know if it was a guy or girl, but, you know, yeah, I don't know if it was a guy or girl, but, I mean, think about it. What if you like the person so much, you finally, you know, asked them out on a date, you got them to go out on a date, you're like, yes, oh, this is going to be so fun, this is going to be so awesome, I can't wait for this, I'm super excited, and then out of nowhere, it's just like, you underestimate how, like, nervous you are for this date, and so then, you know, you just, you know, and it's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the last time, you know, there was a thread that I did where, you know, a guy, was it a guy? Oh, I can't remember. All I know is that the situation was a guy took a girl out on a date and she locked herself in the bathroom and just threw up all over the bathroom and whatnot. And then no taxi or cab would take her home, so he had to take her home. That dumb nigga went out on a second date with her. So I'm thinking because this person didn't get a second date, I'm thinking it was a dude. Yeah, I'm thinking it was a dude. Because the guy gave her a second date, and then, you know, they later on to get married or whatever. And that was, like, you know, their crazy story. So, yeah, I think this was a dude, and she got thrown up all over and then was just like, oh my God, I'm never talking to you ever again. Get the fuck out of my face. So, it's tough out here, man. It's tough out here for y'all. Oh, but that's going to be that thread, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that thread. It was a pretty decent thread. Before we get into the announcements, I want to do what we normally do. If you guys are familiar, I like to do Netflix Korean drama recommendations. If you are new, this is a segment that I frequently do every once in a while. Whenever I come across a really good show, I like to recommend it to you guys so we can talk about it in the comments or whatever, or on Patreon and so on and so forth. Today's recommendation, K-drama recommendation, is Nevertheless. My goodness, is this show sexy? Ooh, goddamn, brother. Man, this show is amazing. And it's crazy because they don't slow build this show or nothing. It gets straight into the sauce, the sex, all of it. I mean, man. Starts off with our main girl. All right, our main girl, Nabi. she is like all dressed up. She looking cute. She about to go meet her man. Her man is an artist, and he is being featured in a art exhibition or whatever. He goes, he sees her piece, and his piece is of a girl bent over naked. And she's like, oh my God, is this me? What the fuck is this? And so she's walking around looking for her, like, what's going on, da da da. And so then she happens to find him and is just like, yo, what's up with that piece? Like, is that supposed to be me? Like, what is going on? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, it's supposed to be you, blah, blah, blah. He calms her down or whatever. He's like, it's just art, blah, blah, blah. It's all about how the person interprets it and shit like that. So then she's at school doing her thing, whatever, and he is actually being a bit of a snake. That nigga's cheating. All right, so he cheating. Somebody tells Nabi that he is cheating, and that, like, if you go here, you're gonna catch him. So she goes. And she looks into the room and sees that nigga just making out with a girl. He's just, you know what I mean? They just like, ooh. And so she's like, fuck this snake ass motherfucker. And so then she asks him to hang out, and they go to like some coffee shop or whatever. And he's like, oh, hey babe, what's going on? Da, da, da. How you been? I missed you, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, we're done. I know you're cheating. I know what's going on. We're done. And Nabi just kind of puts two and two together a little bit. She's like, oh, you know what? That piece probably wasn't even me. That piece was probably your little hoe that you was fucking on the side. And that's why you felt so, like, comfortable making a piece like that. Because, she a little side bitch. It ain't anything. It is what it is. And so, she just like totally is like, I don't believe in love anymore, fuck love, and, niggas ain't shit, but, and so all this stuff. And so then, her best friend, Bitna, she is like, honestly, low key, she looks like a K-pop star, if I'm being honest with you. That's like her total vibe, you know what I mean? She has the total vibe of a K-pop star and stuff. And she's just like, oh my God, you should get out there, you should casually date, you should just be hooking up with dudes and da-da-da, because that's the time she's on, that's the little demon time she's on or whatever. And so she's like, nah, and then she's like, oh, well, there's this guy that's in our class that actually wants to meet you. And she's like, nah, I'm not really down for that. Like, I'd rather not. It is what it is. So she goes to a bar to go drink by herself, and in comes our boy. All right. Our boy, Jayon. Now, this nigga, super fucking handsome guy. As he's walking through the bar, all the girls are like, ooh, oh my God. Ooh, oh my God. They're wetting their chonies over this guy. And so then he walks up to our girl, and he says, oh, can I sit here? And so she's just like, sure. And so he sits there, and he's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I thought you were the person I'm here to meet. And she was just like, oh no, it's cool. It's fine. And so he gets up, he makes a phone call, and then he's just like, is anyone actually sitting there? And she was like, no, I thought you were meeting somebody. And he was like, nah, I decided to cancel with him because I wanted to hang out with you. And I was like, oh shit, man, okay. And so, they're having a good time, and they're playing bar games and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So then fast forward a little bit. Bitna and all the friends and stuff like that, they go out to that drinking thing that she invited Nabi to. And Nabi was like, fuck it, I guess I'll go. She finds out that the guy at the bar, who was all sexy, suave, and smooth, he actually is the guy that wants to meet, that Bitna was talking about. Bitna was just like, hey, there's a guy that wants to meet you, whatever, blah, blah. That was the guy. And she's like, oh shit. And so, they act like they don't know each other and stuff like that. And, he's just like, it's all good. we can keep it a secret, da da da. And she was just like, all right, cool. And so, throughout this show, they're just like getting close to each other. Fast forward, there is a point where they're kind of together, not together, where like homeboy is laying down dick. Like he is laying down dick. My God. And even before, he was laying down the dick on her, she had a dream that he had came over to her house and just smashed her. And she woke up and was just like, oh shit. Okay. It's Niagara Falls down there. Like, goddamn. And so, but it was weird because, it was a thing where she felt like, what the fuck, we're having sex where, he's spending the night over at my house. We're doing everything that couples do, but we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't get that. But, later on, you kind of find out that there is this person that you later find out her name is Solia. She has Jaeon just wrapped around his throat. Like she has him. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. But anytime he calls, anytime she calls, he picks up. He never declines her calls. He always goes to her whenever she needs him. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Later on, you figure out that, they used to date or whatever the case may be. And that she's actually tight with his mom and stuff. And so, you kind of get a little bit of backstory like that. But there was a time where Solia and Nabi, they like were talking to each other. And Jaeon, he my nigga. He likes ponytails like your boy does. And, I love it when girls have their hair in a ponytail. I just think it's cute. It's just such a cute, lazy, laid back style. And so she had her hair up in a ponytail and she was, Nabi's all feeling cute and whatnot. Da, da, da. She goes to get her a drink and she walks by Solia, not knowing that she walked by Solia. But Solia knows who she is. And so she stops her and whatnot. And she's just like, oh, you're Nabi. You're Jaeon's friend. And she was just like, yeah, who are you? And she was like, Solia's like, oh, well, I'm his girlfriend. And she's like, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, I'm his girlfriend. Like, we've been together for a couple months now, blah, 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 blah. And so Nabi's just like, what the fuck, bitch? And, she was, I guess, when Nabi walked by, she was on the phone talking about, oh, yeah, I'm going to cut my hair. Or, I'm thinking about having my hair short, blah, blah, blah. And so Nabi was just like, I think you should keep your hair the way it is and long because Jaeon likes to fuck girls with their hair up. And then she pulls out her ponytail and walks away. I was like, oh, goddamn. Whoa. She laid it on that bitch. I was like, God damn. But, that's a bit of a synopsis of, like, the story. I obviously want you guys to watch it and piece it together yourself and stuff like that. Because there are other couples within the show. There is, like, Bitna and Kyunhoon. They have a bit of a weird relationship too because Bitna, she like, she want to be free and be a hoe, but at the same time she want to have a man. And Kyohoon is just like, bruh, I just want to be with you and I want you to just be with me. You know what I mean? Then he acts like a mopey asshole bitch and you know what I mean? Because she is acting the way she's acting or whatever the case may be. And then you have Gyeonjun and Minyoung. They're like two administrative people that work at the school and they kind of have a weird relationship. You could tell Gyeonjun loves Minyoung. God damn, this nigga loves her, bro. And so the fact that, he is in love with this girl, he be making some subtle moves. I ain't gonna lie to you. There is a time where she needs a place to stay and whatnot, and so he's like, "Why don't you stay at my house and whatnot?" Blah blah blah. And whenever she goes to look for apartments and things like that, he's just like, "No, those places are bad. They're not good enough for you. They have mold. This and that. You could just stay at my place a little longer. It's fine. It'll work out." And she's just like, huh? What's going on here? And then his mom shows up, and he was just like, oh yeah, this is my girlfriend. We've been only dating for like a few months, and I really care about her, and da da da. And she didn't say nothing. She didn't deny it to her mom, nothing, because the mom was all happy and like, oh my god, I'm so glad my baby found a girl. You know what I mean? She kind of didn't want to fuck that up for her. And I was just like, oh damn, talk about backing a girl into a corner, god damn. But Nabi and also Do-hyuk. Do-hyuk is like her childhood friend from forever ago. And apparently, I guess they had a bit of a falling out because Nabi moved to Seoul and to like pursue her art career and stuff like that. And it left Do-hyuk behind, but he started a YouTube channel and he cooks on there and stuff, and a lot of girls actually find him attractive and stuff. And so Nabi goes back to her little hometown and links up with him again, and they're having a good time. He confesses his feelings for her, and then shit stirs up. Like I said, I ain't gonna tell you what happens because I want you to watch it. But yeah, she gets into a bit of a love triangle, but you could tell, man, she like, you're literally gonna feel so heartbroken for Do-hyuk, bro. You're gonna be sitting there like, oh, my man, he's so perfect. He's such a great guy. And what is she doing? She out here fucking that nigga up. Oh, it breaks my heart, bro. It breaks my heart the way she did him. She did him dirty, bro. She did him dirty. But yeah, man, like I said, that's all I'm going to say about it. I want you guys to definitely check it out. Leave a comment, man. And if you've already seen Nevertheless on Netflix, talk to me about it, man. We'll talk about it down there, and we'll talk about it, on Patreon, stuff like that. Message me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I do love when you guys watch the recommended shows, and then you guys, talk to me about it. I love it. It's kind of awesome. But yeah, that Nevertheless is my Netflix recommendation for my first Netflix recommendation of 2024. All right, let's go, baby. All right. So let's go ahead and get into our announcements for today's show. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. If you would like to get your scenario onto the show, or a scenario that you'd like me to react to, or a story, or whatever it is that you want to send me to have be read on the show, Patreon's the place to do it. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as the ability to send in your scenario, story, whatever it is, to be read on the show. Thank you guys so much for all the support on TikTok, man. We've been killing it. Dude, man, over 2K. Over 2K followers, bro. It's all thanks to you guys. Thank you guys so much for all that support, man. A lot of you guys are coming over from TikTok and listening to the full episodes. Thank you guys so much for all that, man. Shout out to you guys because, dude, I've been noticing the downloads have a bit of a spike ever since I was able to link my Spotify to my TikTok page. So I've been noticing you guys been clicking the link, man, checking out a couple episodes, downloading some of your favorite episodes here and there, man, supporting the show, and hopefully getting on that Patreon, man. If you guys are on any listening platforms, go ahead and hit that support the show link. That'll take you straight to the Patreon, and you guys can do that. If you're on anything else, go ahead and, Linktree, baby. That's where it'll be. If you're on YouTube, man, hit that subscribe button. Even if you're not on YouTube, man, just go ahead and go on YouTube, youtube.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast, all one word. And just hit the subscribe button, man. That helps out a lot, man. I like I said, I thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys have been giving for the show. And that's going to be it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our first scenario. Like I said, I'm not going to do too many scenarios. I'll probably do maybe 3 or 4. Your boy's feeling a little under the weather right now. And, yeah, your boy's on the struggle bus right now, okay? So, shout out to my mom getting me sick. God damn. All right, first scenario. Gave head for the first time and feel terrible. For context, I've been 18 for 3 days now and have been seeing this guy 18 male for about a couple weeks now. He has made me feel really comfortable and confident in my sexuality in ways that I never felt, especially considering I'm a virgin and I have never done anything sexual. I decided to surprise him and admittedly keep him interested. I would give him head since he has expressed interest in receiving it constantly. So when we hung out today, it finally happened, and it was as bad as I thought, but I felt terrible. He took full control, basically throat fucked me, and thank God I have no gag reflex because he was being quite aggressive with the way he was holding my head down. Lasted a whole 10 minutes. He finished while fully down my throat with zero warning, and it has been a whole day, and he has yet to text me. I feel quite gross and ashamed of myself for doing something like this, especially considering my ideas towards sex. What should I do? Oh, wow. So homeboy pretty much finally got what he wanted and then kicked your ass to the curb. Wow. Damn, that's fucked up. Man. I mean, I guess in a situation like that, you probably should have just waited until you guys were maybe official, or tell him, hey, look, man, I'm not really comfortable doing anything sexual until I'm actually in a relationship with you, because that type of shit can happen. I get it. You're 18 and hindsight is 2020, and you got to go through some shit to actually, be cognizant of this kind of stuff. Understandable, 100% understandable. So my biggest thing is, what I would do moving forward is just, before you do anything sexual with a guy, make sure you're in a relationship with him. You know what I mean? Just keep it under OP. If I'm keeping it honest with you, girl, I would just say, hey, make sure you're in a relationship before you do something sexual with somebody, because then that's what happens. It's like they gonna go ahead and fucking get what they want, and then once they get what they want, either that or he was just like, man, I got what I wanted and she was trash at it, so I don't feel bad leaving her, and that also sucks too. So like I said, hindsight is 2020. It is a mistake that you made, and it's all good. You make mistakes, shit happens. But moving forward, just make sure you're in a relationship with that person before you start having sex with him. That's all I can say. I mean, you let me know in the comments what advice you would give her. I'm being honest with you. Oh my God. Am I the asshole for wanting to leave my husband after finding out he's been keeping some secrets behind my back? Oh, wow. All right. So, I, 34 female, have a friend, 33 female, from grade school that we reconnected as adults, and last year, 2023, became really close. Often referring to each other as best friends, at the end of July, we got into a stupid small disagreement. After about a week of not talking, I noticed that she blocked me on everything. I also noticed that she continued following my husband on Instagram, so I asked him to block her, and he said he would. To my knowledge, I assume that he did. Over the past few months, I had tried to get in touch with her twice. In October, I reached out to her ex-boyfriend that she lived with and asked him to pass on a message that I missed her. Towards the end of November, I sent her a Christmas card and just wrote something simple like, I miss you and I'm here when you're ready to talk. Last night, I decided I was going to try to talk to her from my husband, 35 male's Instagram account. Asked him to sign in on my phone. He has seemed apprehensive about this and was making me very suspicious that maybe there was something on his Instagram he didn't want me to see. Next thing I know, he's confessing that he talked to her in the recent past about me and her, trying to translate what in the actual fuck that means. These are the things that he told me. 1, he reached out to her shortly after he found out that she blocked me on everything. 2, he went to her for relationship advice. She told him secrets that I told her in confidence. 4, I've spoken more than once because she's reached out to him after she received my card in the mail. Here are the things that are pissing me off beyond belief and making me consider divorce. Neither of them have my best interest at heart. That's blatantly clear. Obviously, I would expect this over a friend who's blocked me literally over nothing, but not my husband. My husband supposedly went to her for a relationship fight when he was clearly fishing for dirt on things that was possibly doing / saying behind my back. I feel like an absolute moron thinking that I could repair my friendship with her all these months, and all along he's known that she has no interest in being friends anymore, and he just let me feel that way. My husband has been accusing me of things over the last few months, things that she told him, and trying to lie to me about it. He got the information. He just believed everything she said and ran with it. I feel like I'm in fucking high school. The worst part is that my husband thinks he did nothing wrong and that he was just going to a friend for advice. Believe me, if he found out I was secretly speaking to any one of his friends behind his back for months, he'd be long gone, but he expects me to just forgive him. Little background on my husband and myself. We've been together for 17 years, married for almost 12, and we've had a lot of ups and downs, mostly in the first half of our relationship. We haven't had any serious problems in about 8 years. And she is like, this is the camel that's breaking the, the straw that's breaking the camel's back, bro. And if I'm being honest with you, I get it. You and her weren't friends, and then you sat there and tried to play the game of, oh, I want you to block her too because, I'm not her friend. And it's a thing where it's like, he wasn't really saying anything sexual to her. He wasn't trying to hook up with her. He wasn't really doing anything that warrants the treatment that you're giving him, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, he talked to her about relationship advice, which, to me, that's
wrong.
I don't think you should be trying to seek relationship advice from, a female. You know what I mean? If anything, you should be trying to get it from your homeboys, not another girl. And then obviously for her, with her homegirls and not another guy. And so I don't know. I mean, other than that, I really don't see anything wrong with it. Look, I get it. She may have said some things and blocked you and made you feel a certain type of way, whatever the case may be. I understand that. But like I said, just for him having a friendship that you didn't like with her and them talking, platonically, it's just like, yeah, I mean, even the reasons that he gave, I feel were pretty valid. I mean, he reached out to her shortly after he found out that she blocked me on everything. So he reached out pretty much being like, hey, what happened between you and my wife? What's going on? I she's obviously in a mood and doesn't want to talk to me about it. So what's going on? And then obviously the relationship advice thing, that was an L. That's
wrong.
And so she told him secrets that I told her in confidence. Now, if I'm being honest with you, that's literally you keeping secrets from him. You know what I mean? Like, I would feel some type of way because I'm hearing these things from your friend and not from you. Why am I not hearing these things from you? Why are you keeping secrets from me? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If you told this girl things in confidence that you didn't want her to tell me, it's like, why are you keeping secrets from me? You see what I mean? Like, that one's a little tough. They've spoken more than once because she reached out to him after she received my card in the mail. So again, I think that was a thing where she probably got that card in the mail and then reached out to the husband like, yo, what is this card? What's going on? Why is your girl trying to reach out to me? Blah, 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 blah. I think she's in the wrong. I think you are the asshole for this, and you should not divorce that man over these dumb reasons. Like I said, the relationship advice thing, I get how that could be a little shady, but you never really found anything of them, conversing in that kind of way. So he didn't do anything wrong. He's just talking to a bitch that you don't like, and then you're upset about it. But he's not even talking to her like that. You know what I mean? He's not talking to her in a way that's like, he's not talking to her like that. He's talking to her in a strictly platonic way. He's pretty much just asking her, hey, yo, what's going on between you and my girl? It's just, I think he's just trying to figure shit out because he knows that, hey, this has been my wife's friend forever. And so I want to figure out what's going on. Obviously, you guys are keeping shit from me because she's told me shit that you didn't tell me. And then and I know that you were keeping it from me because she said that she wasn't allowed to tell me that you said those things to her. So if I'm being honest with you, with the information, who do you really think is the asshole here? And you want a divorce for this? Nah, bruh. Nah. I really think that you are an asshole for this one. I do. I think you're a huge asshole for this one because there's just not enough for you to really contemplate even thinking about divorce. Like, bruh. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I think about that one. You guys let me know. This is gonna be my last one, man. My voice is hoarse as shit. My throat's kind of killing me, so your boy's feeling under the weather today, but I still had to get an episode out for you guys. That's how much I love you guys, all right? So, all right, let's go ahead and get into our last scenario for today. I just did the most embarrassing thing on Hinge and had to unmatch her because of it. I am a 30 male and she was a 28 female. She was really cute, but all of her photos were just selfies and her prompts didn't tell me anything about her. And that's already a red flag, bro. What the fuck? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The photos being selfies, that's fine. I don't see that being a red flag. But the fact that her prompts didn't really tell you anything about her, it's like, bro, that kind of seems red flaggish. There was one photo with a snake I used to start a convo. She replied and I didn't know what to say. So after not replying, I thought I'd ask ChatGPT. The answer it gave was so good, I didn't realize I copied the fucking prompt. She called me out in a joking way and I felt so embarrassed I unmatched. What the fuck is wrong with me? I am so ashamed. This is a new low for me. Hopefully she realizes why I unmatched her because I fucked up. Bro. Wait.
Bruh.
Why did you unmatch her? She called you out in a joking way and you could have played off that. You could have been like, yeah, you know, I didn't really know what to say. You know, I just think you're really cute, whatever. And I wanted to come back with a really good line. And I used ChatGPT to try to come up with a good, witty line or whatever. And I failed. You know what I mean? Like, and she would have been, if she was actually interested, in which I think she was probably interested, just the fact that she actually replied. I would feel like if a girl was on a dating app and wasn't interested, she wouldn't reply to you, but she replied to you. And so I don't think you fucked up. I think you literally got out of there too early. What are you doing? Like,
bruh,
come on, man. What are you doing? You literally fucked up one time and then you just cut yourself loose, bro. And then you're over here. Oh, I hope that she understands why I unmatched her because I fucked up. No, she's looking at you like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? We were having a good conversation. He was pretty funny. Like what nigga fucks up using ChatGPT? How many times does she get that? You know what I mean? I think she was probably just like, dude's pretty unique. He's kind of funny. He's a little silly. Like, bro, you sold yourself short on that one, man. Fucking retarded. Like, dude, what's going on here, man? Like, fail. Absolute fail, bro. You are the biggest fail ever. Because I guarantee you she was interested in you. And she looked at it like, oh, me and him, he fucked up. I'm gonna call him out in a joking way, and then we kind of laugh about it, and that can continue the conversation on. But you just deaded the conversation, and so she's just like, she's probably looking at the thing like, what did I do wrong? She's probably thinking like, what did I do wrong? Like, did I fuck up? Like, did I say something weird? Was I too much? You know what I mean? Like, she probably thinks she fucked up, which none of you fucked up. You made a mistake. She laughed at it and thought it was funny. You could have literally leaned into that. And a lot of guys don't realize that. A lot of guys don't realize, you can lean into your fuck ups, especially if she laughs at it and she thinks it's kind of funny, and she, gives you like maybe a witty answer, or she gives you kind of like a joking answer or whatever. You could play into that a little bit because you guys could laugh about it. You could talk about it. It's something that could kind of continue you guys talking. But, bro, you sold yourself super fucking short, man. You're an L. You're a huge L. And the next time that happens, man, continue the conversation until she stops replying. That's when you're done. That's when you know you fucked up, is when she's done replying. Like, when she stops replying and you haven't gotten a reply in, let's be honest, a couple hours. If you haven't gotten a reply in a couple hours or within that day, all right, then it's over. You must have fucked up somehow. But she responded. And all you had to do was just kind of lean into that and be like, yeah, I know, I'm weird, whatever. I don't know, man. That was a big L on you, boy. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode, man. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving, man. It's been amazing. Thank you. Again, if you want your scenario onto the show and an exclusive episode every single Friday, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. All right. Your boy is hoarse. He's sick, hungry, and my body aches. So I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Love you guys, and peace.